actually 31. It's not
Are you good,
30.
Chris?
I wouldn't know because I always come in after it rings.
There it goes. It just went live.
Okay, Chris got it now. Okay, thank you. All right, bye.
Just click on it. Just click on it.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. All right, bye.
Just click on it. Just click on it.
You're on mute. The system's on mute.
That part I can fix.
We have it now.
You're good now.
Good. Good? Oh, hang on. We have a professional with us now that.
A young one at that. How about it?
Okay.
Go.
I think we learned a lesson today. not-
And I'll call the meeting of the Carbon County Board of Commissioners to order. We rise for a moment of silence, prayer, and pledge of allegiance.
Father, we thank you for each mind and heart that fills the presence of this room through social media also, as well as the lives of those we will encounter afterwards. Set us free from comparison in order to work together efficiently, for only you truly know what we are set out to accomplish today. Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
These proceedings are being recorded for the sole purpose of constituting the accuracy of written minutes. Tapes are reused, eliminating recorded records of these proceedings. Approval of the minutes of the previous meeting held September 16th, 2021.
Motion approved.
Second.
Mr. Arner?
Yeah.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes. Are there any guests concerning county business at this time? Hearing none, we'll move on.
Report of executive sessions now.
There were none.
Department reports. The budget transfers.
Motion.
Second.
Mr. Arner?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Notstein?
Yes.
There were no supplemental appropriations. Expenditures approval of check numbers 223504 through 223660 for expenditures through the general fund clearing account totaling $2,919,370.25.
Move to approve.
Second.
Mr. Arner?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
The treasurer's report.
Move to accept.
Second.
Mr. Arner?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Personnel reports. First report are county departments.
Motion approved.
Second.
Mr. Arner?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Next personnel report is acknowledgements.
Motion approved.
Second, and just for clarification, the acknowledgements are for the court offices and row offices.
Yeah. And on further discussion, I will highlight the fact that on July 14th, the governor signed Act 2020-57, which increased the responsibility for due diligence in hiring processes. And in the absence of acknowledgement of due diligence, I will be voting for all but the probation officer who would fall under Act 2020-57.
Full the board, Mr. Arner,
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich,
No. Yes, with the exception of the parole officer. I apologize. Yep.
Mr. Notstein,
Yes.
there is no correspondence received. Boards and authorities, Parks and Recreation.
Move
Appointment.
to, yep. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Ellen.
Okay, 5-year term to expire December 31st, 2026. Thomas Wildonner of Jim Thorpe, Pennsylvania.
Move to appoint.
Second.
Mr. Arner,
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich,
Yes.
Mr. Notstein.
Yes.
The broadband study for ratification, execution of the grant agreement in the amount of $50,000 between the Appalachian Regional Commission and the Carbon County Commissioners to conduct a rural broadband coverage and feasibility study for Carbon County, Pennsylvania. The grant period is November 1, 2021 through November 30th, 2022. It requires a $50,000 match, $40,000 from the county and $10,000 from the Carbon Chamber and Economic Development Corporation.
Motion approved.
Second.
And this was approved by the Carbon Chamber and Economic Development Corporation at their meeting on Monday as well.
Mr. Arner,
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich,
Yes.
Mr. Notstein.
Yes.
Children and Youth for approval and execution, the fiscal year 2020, 2021 rate schedule for Children's Advocacy Center of Scranton, Pennsylvania, as per the attached rates.
Move to approve and execute.
Second.
Mr. Arner?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Contract addenda for approval and execution, addenda to extend the rates of the following 2020, 2021 purchase of service agreements for 180 days from the fiscal year ending June 30th, 2021, or until finalization of the fiscal year 2021, 2022 contract for the 3 vendors as listed.
Motion approved and execute.
Second.
Mr. Arner?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Human Services TFAB Program for approval and execution. The agreement between the county and the Community Action Committee of the Lehigh Valley Incorporated Second Harvest Food Bank to provide services as the lead agency under the Temporary Emergency Food Assistance Program from October 1, 2021 to September 30th, 2022.
Motion approved and execute.
Second.
Mr. Arner?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
In lieu of taxes, for approval, distribution of $20,357.59 from the city of Bethlehem to school districts, townships representing payment in lieu of taxes for 2021 property owned by Bethlehem Water Authority. Amounts for each are as listed.
Move to approve the distribution.
Second.
Mr. Arner,
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich,
Yes.
Mr. Notstein.
Yes.
Insurance ratification, acceptance of the renewal of the special risk accident coverage for county volunteers for the period of October 1, 2021 to October 1, 2022. The carrier is Gerber Life Insurance Company through the CCAP insurance programs. The annual premium is $340. This represents no change in the premium.
Motion to ratify.
Second.
Mr. Arner,
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich,
Yes.
Mr. Notstein.
Yes.
Lanta for approval and execution. A service agreement between the county and Lanta for transportation services provided under the Medical Assistance Transportation Program for the period of July 1, 2021 through June 30th, 2022 at the trip rate of $39.70.
Move to approve and execute.
Second.
Mr. Arner,
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich,
Yes.
Mr. Notstein.
Yes.
Next item is the Public Defender, the Mental Health Services Grant Application. First, I would like to ask you if you would entertain a motion to amend the agenda that was publicly advertised. Item number 21-460. The project period was incorrectly listed due to a clerical error. The correct project period is January 1, 2022 through December 31st, 2023.
Motion made to accept the second on discussion also then.
Second.
I just have a few comments. I know, Paul was here. And I think he's the one that brought to our attention about this grant. And I always looked at this that, I mean, I want to commend you for bringing this to our attention. I think it was like brought up the last minute and trying to rush this through. But this, I feel, is something that is needed. I mean, we're always looking at the big word recidivism, you know, and we're having people that are in the prison that shouldn't be there. And I think maybe you could elaborate more on this, but, and I think people shouldn't get the impression that this is just a get out of free jail card. You know, and I look at it that it's going to save the county money because every day that a prisoner is in jail, I think it's costing us like $100 some per day. And I know maybe others might not agree with me, but it looks like it's going to be a part-time job. But I think this should be evolved into a full-time job that should be in your budget. And like I said, I'm going to have a phone call this afternoon with Monroe County on what we could do, you know, getting a service, you know, maybe they can provide a service. And it's just like I said, it's like we have people in jail that after 10 days, I think they're getting taught by the other inmates to be a criminal. Or we're not giving them the help that's provided for, you know, it's just making their situation a little bit worse. So I don't know if you can give us a little bit more details, Paul, on it that.
Sure. So since I've been
Could we hold off on that until after the second motion, really?
Oh,
To
okay, I
explain.
didn't know. Okay,
This motion was to amend it.
okay, okay,
Okay, let's move on to first motion.
okay,
Okay, so poll the board. Mr. Arner.
yes,
Mr. Lukasevich.
Yes.
Mr. Notstein.
Yes.
Okay, our next motion is to approve the amended agenda item number 21-460. Submission of grant application for funding from the Pennsylvania Commission on Crime and Delinquency for Mental Health Initiative Crisis Management and Pre-Trial Diversion. The funds will be used to support a salary for a part-time social worker / case manager and for a psychologist to perform evaluations on those in the county's justice system who suffer from mental health issues. Project period, January 1, 2022 to December 31st, 2023. Funding is in the amount of $109,827.
Move to approve and execute.
I'll second that.
Mr. Arner,
Yes,
Mr. Lukasevich,
Yes.
Mr. Notstein.
Yes, at this time, I'll call on our Chief Public Defender, Paul Levy, to explain what this grant is really going to be used for and how it will help us.
sure. You want me to stand? That would be helpful.
Why don't you come up
You
here
can come
where
up
they
and
can
sit
see you
down.
on the camera?
Take it easy on us.
Well, to start off, I've been a public defender since 1996, and I can tell you that in that job, it's always been part of a major problem dealing with clients who suffer from mental health issues. Unfortunately, it's not a problem that is just isolated to Carbon County or the state of Pennsylvania. It's nationwide. Of the residents on average at the prisons nationwide, I think it's about 24% of those individuals suffer from mental health issues. If we can target those individuals early on, number one, some of those individuals can be diverted. Part of that's through training. I just met with the chiefs of police a couple of days ago with District Attorney Michael Greek. They seem supportive of our efforts so that we can at least get some of these individuals some of the help either early on or through the process itself. The additional component is, quite candidly, there'll be few of them that will be targeted to be released sooner or out of the jail before they go through the process. But It's going to be those additional individuals that once they're in the process, we can learn the problems that they're having, isolate those issues, have them receive the treatment. The social worker would be part-time initially. I'm requesting in the budget actually a full-time social worker, but with the funding that was available through the grant, I could only ask for a part-time position because we also needed a psychologist to do assessments. So the idea would be the social worker would initially come in, interact with the individuals, would also provide training to the police and the local first responders so they can learn to determine whether or not an individual appears to be having these issues. The social worker would then also speak to the family, other individuals who are in contact with them, get the information, collaborate that information so we can utilize that so they can get the help that they need. I can name at least a half dozen of my clients that are in the jail right now that could have used that and benefited from that. There's only so much that we can do as public defenders, and the social workers will enable us to get them to the locations that they need to. The one thing that we're going to be, I think we're going to have to expand on is trying to help the mental health providers out there to get us in contact with other agencies that either are halfway houses or other locations that some of these individuals can go to and not wind up sitting in our jail and just unfortunately have a situation where their mental health issues decompose and wind up getting worse than they originally started. A lot of the individuals there, if it's not known, they're not receiving their treatment or refusing their treatment. I feel strongly that it'll be extremely helpful. Will reduce the number of inmates in our jail and also will, in the long term, reduce recidivism. And I say that because if one component is going to be getting the individuals initially out, additionally, there'll be follow through probation and parole if they do in fact go through our system. So they're following the mental health treatment required. Without that component, what happens is they go back to, unfortunately, some of their old cycles. And the most frustrating part as a public defender at times is representing somebody who really doesn't belong in the system, that they have a mental health issue that brought them to the system, and we need to get that addressed properly. If we can get that addressed properly, we can get them out of the system, get the family help that they need, the community help that they need. And I think that from that point forward, you'll be in a position where you're not only helping the members of the community, you're helping the system, and you're helping the families that are involved with these individuals. Because I can imagine that everyone out there can think of at least someone in their family or friends that suffers from a mental health issue. If they were in a position where they didn't have that family support, sometimes we have that because they're from other states, they come in from other areas. Unless we get them the help, they're going to be in our jail, not receiving the treatment. In addition to that, costing us additional funds. So I think that this program is a great start, but I'm not sure. Hopefully, we can expand upon it as well so that we can get these people the help that they need.
Yeah, and I think it's one of these things that it's two positions, but it involves from the arresting officer all the way to the magistrate, to the judges, that this system has to be put together to help these people. And it's going to be a big accomplishment when you accomplish this.
I'm hoping we can get, and we are using, it's called this sequential intercept model, which basically starts at different levels. The first intercept is law enforcement. Second intercept would be the initial court hearings that they're at. Third intercept would be at the jails itself. The third or the fourth intercept is the reentry, and then the fifth intercept is the community corrections, so that they're, unfortunately, they wind up getting back in the system. If we can make sure that they're receiving those treatments, it is a large project, but it's going to require part of the problem I think that we had a little bit is there's a fragmentation in the mental health, and we're trying to get that everybody combined so we can meet together. I don't want to take up too much of your time. I could go on about this because it's an issue I feel very strongly about, and I'm glad that the commissioners are supporting it. I greatly appreciate it, and I think it'll help the community greatly.
One of my questions are, and it has been a problem in the past, and is the available facilities to place these people in when they are identified and having these problems. I know we have had people sitting in the prison for a year already. There's a waiting list of a year to get them into a state facility for treatment. And while they're sitting in the prison, it's doing nothing for them and just costing the taxpayers even more money. And so it's a huge issue in not having facilities for these placements as well. The mental health issue keeps coming up, and especially in the last year and a half, 2 years, has been getting a lot worse with the COVID. In our COVID focus groups, our interagency collaborative board meetings, et cetera, all the agencies are all saying the same thing with the increase of mental health issues and the people that they're seeing in the various office and programs that are out there. So it's getting to be a huge issue. There's a shortage of healthcare workers in the mental health field to help deal with this. So it is a major problem and getting worse every day right now.
And all I can tell you is I think that part of what we'll be able to do is at least start coordinating that. There are some problems and issues that may not, well, I'm sure will not be fully addressed by this grant, but it's definitely a starting point, and at least it'll also point us in the direction of other areas that we need to deal with. The other thing that I didn't mention, the part that also frustrates me, when you have these individuals in these facilities, the fact that a lot of them suffer from issues of paranoia and other things, when you have them confined in this space, not only not taking their medications makes it worse, but the whole environment makes it worse. And the one thing that we can do is offer through the social worker, the treatment, and part of what's going to be that they're going to do on a regular basis. They should be there 20 hours a week, providing them services and different worksheets to help them through that, to help them get into these programs. I could tell you, we're going to still probably have a problem on the weak spot of where to place them afterwards. There are not a lot of facilities in Carbon County. We wind up having to go outside of the county, but that's something that we can work with afterwards. At least we can get these people some help and some start. Any other?
You gonna stick around to the end of the meeting, Paul?
Sure.
Okay, thank you. Let's move on.
Thank you. Can you step back?
Okay, the next item is a purchase of service agreement for the Adult Probation Department that was tabled from last week. For approval and execution, an agreement with Fraser Advanced Information Systems of Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, to purchase a Sharp Digital Solution Advanced Series Document Systems photocopier in the amount of $5,660, 3,000 black and white copies, $16.50 per month. Overages are charged at 0.0055 for each copy. This will be located in adult probation. The service agreement includes unlimited service calls, parts, labor, toner, delivery, setup and instruction and training, remote network installation with on-site print scan training.
Motion to approve and execute?
Second.
Mr. Arner,
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich,
Yes.
Mr. Notstein.
Yes.
Service agreement, GIS mapping for approval and execution, a software maintenance agreement with Esri Incorporated of Redlands, California for the year 2022, listing the following charges: assessment $400, elections $300, liquid fuels $10,900, 911 $3,500, for a total cost of $15,100, which represents no increase.
Motion to approve and execute?
Second.
Mr. Arner,
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich,
Yes.
Mr. Notstein.
Yes.
The solicitors report.
Thank you. Children and Youth for approval and execution, an agreement with Computer Aid Incorporated of Allentown to provide consulting relative to review of child protective services reports and files to the Children and Youth Services Department, effective October 4, 2021 through December 31, 2021. Rates are $150 per hour, billed quarterly, 45 cents per mile, and overnight stay plus meals. May be terminated by 20 days written notice or extended by written on consent.
Move to approve and execute.
Mr. Arner,
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich,
Yes.
Mr. Notstein.
Yes.
4476 renovation project for approval and execution. Change order number 1 and change order number 2 to the contract with JBM Mechanical of Nazareth for approval of cast iron pipe and rock excavation at 44 Susquehanna Street building at a cost of $5,672.29. Installation of a new domestic water line to 76 Susquehanna Street building at a cost of $22,645.73. The change order increases the contract by $28,318.02 for a new contract total of $361,318.02.
Move to approve and execute.
Second.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
4476 Susquehanna Street for approval and execution, change order number 1 to the contract of Leibold Incorporated of Pottsville for replacement of RTUs 1, 2, 3, and 5 at 76 Susquehanna Street building. The change order increased the contract by $70,000 for a new contract total of $569,500.
Move to approve and execute.
Second.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Parks and Recreation for approval and execution, a special activities agreement for use of Mock Chunk Lake Park submitted by Community Films LLC for filming at Mock Chunk Lake Park on October 2nd, 2021.
Move to approve and execute.
Second.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Resolution for used equipment for adoption, a resolution authorizing the disposition of used equipment, which will be motor vehicles.
Motion to adopt the resolution and also authorize the advertising.
Second.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Veterans for approval, award of funding in the amount of $100,000, discretionary grant through the Western Interstate Commission for Higher Education to support the implementation of Together with Veterans Northeastern Pennsylvania. The project period is April 1, 2021 to March 31, 2022.
Move to approve.
Second.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Nothing further.
Any further business? Commissioners' reports, Mr. Honor.
The only thing I have is I want to congratulate Hal Hydro on his retirement. Wish him well, and he's been a great service for many years, and he's going to be missed. Thank you.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Nothing.
Mr. Notstein?
Yeah, the only thing I have is, again, we just made a motion. We have 7 vehicles for sale that we're putting out to bid, and we're trying to get rid of them. Some are may have to be towed away.
They're all for sale.
They're all a bargain.
Real nice shape.
We did set a minimum bid of $100, so yeah, it'll be in the ad when they can be inspected. They're currently at the Emergency Operations Center. I believe all the vehicles are up there now, so yes, it's I don't know if it's a good time to sell or not. I hope the people out there stealing the catalytic converters will show up and purchase these vehicles.
Yeah.
It's getting to be a major issue.
Right.
Throughout the country, I guess. It's I guess Erie Insurance or one of them just had something on that paid out $45 million in claims recently, and we've had an issue with stolen catalytic converters. So hopefully that bid amount will be well above the $100 we're asking for just for the cost of catalytic conversion. Was what $800-900 just for the catalytic converter itself to install a new one in a vehicle that we had converter stolen from. So that's all I have. Okay, meeting adjourned. Okay, Dominic.
I only have one question for Commissioner Lukasevich and just why he disapproved of the hiring of a probation or parole officer.
No, and it wasn't disapprove the hiring. It was not acknowledging the fact of the hiring due to non-compliance with Act 2020-57, which when it went into effect 60 days after the governor's signing, it required law enforcement agencies, peace officers, and the adult probation office falls under that, to maintain records of all discipline, conduct a thorough check of all new hires, and to share with former employing law enforcement agencies must disclose records of all discipline to a hiring LEA, law enforcement agency. So there is no clarification if that process took place in this hiring. Therefore, I think it's an unnecessary and unacceptable risk for the county to assume and the citizens to assume that we may be hiring probation officers or any law enforcement officer who might not have gone through a full and thorough vetting, because the fact is individuals do slip through the cracks. Individuals do fail to report certain instances that have occurred in their past that may influence the hiring process and our willingness to provide the funds for such hirings. Therefore, I would not acknowledge that, Dominic.
That's all I have. Thank you, Commissioners.
I want to point out that the county will still be requiring those Act 57 compliance for our corrections officers, as well as the parks or anyone else that carries a weapon that does not fall under the courts.
Yeah.
To my knowledge, the sheriff is still going to require it. I have not heard differently from the sheriff's department.
Thank you, everyone.
Okay. That's it, Dominic? Kelly, nothing, you're good. Okay. Thank you.
What about Amy? Where's she going?
Oh, Amy, are you there?
Or is she just watching?
She was just watching.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Dominic, congratulations.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I was like, am I in trouble? She
Yeah.
never- Thank you so much.
I'm actually,
I'm gonna be a married man in about 2 years, everyone.
oh, God.
Unfortunately,
Not after I
Rocky,
get done
you
talking to
It's a long time
her.
for her to change her
He's
mind.
gonna avoid me for 2 years now.
Yeah.
Well, I put you on the guest list and she crossed you off, so
Oh,
you're not
God, come
not coming to
on.
the wedding, Rocky. I'm sorry.
I thought I was a, yeah.
She replaced you with Wayne. Thank you, Ellie.
All right. but other than that, no.
This isn't on, you're
Yeah,
good.
just, previous.
Yeah, I am, yeah. 2 week, holy crap, it's been a month already, which I didn't even think was possible, but it's been a month. Yeah.
Do anything exciting for these?
Yeah, we went to California. That was really cool. We drank wine for about 9 days. I had acid reflux the whole time. It was awesome. We
Are you
went-
sure she said yes?
I'm positive. It was only on our second tasting, so I wasn't tuned in yet. It's gonna be